Wednesday in Saint Petersburg, Russia, and it is 20 degrees Celsius, 70 degrees Fahrenheit. So I am out again after that week or so of snow. I have picked myself up a free bicycle at the train station, and I'm gonna head over to this island, then the next island, get my hair cut, got a meeting, and then see what's happened for the rest of the day. These bikes are free. Basically, I pay a one-time fee per year, about $45. They're all over the city. There's an app just like the scooters that show you where they are. You pick them up, drop them off. Designated parking spaces for everywhere. The first 30 minutes is free. Then you gotta wait 15 minutes until it's 30 minutes for free again. Or if you use it more than 30 minutes, it's like 1 cent a minute. And I love them because I like to get the exercise. I'm not a big fan of the scooters myself. There's a fortress over there and the park I usually go through. A lot of time walking this park, and I never knew there was like a back entrance to this way. It's this cool little path on the canal, and you get a better view up against the Artillery Museum, which I have to go do a video of sometime. Cool. New discoveries every day. And here's a church on my way. I'm just kind of filming stuff as I wait at these crosswalks. There's another crosswalk. I'm about to cross over the bridge over there to the next island. Here's a view from the bridge. Off in the distance you can see the tower. Tallest skyscraper in all of Europe. And then back around this way is the center. I left the bike over there because this is considered a parking spot in this area. And I got about a block and a half to walk where I need to go, not far. This is one of the oldest sections of Saint Petersburg. This is Vasilyevsky Island. And actually, 25 years ago when I first moved to St. Petersburg in 2002, I lived in this island for 2002 and 2003, although a little farther down. And it's back then it was really run down. I was kind of like that. Now it's much more fixed up. It's a very hip place to live. A lot of cool stuff going on here. The bikes actually give you a bit of a grace period over 30 minutes, so that was a 45-minute ride. Cost me 11 cents, and I dropped the bike off where I'm going, and when I'm done, I can pick another one up, or I can pick up public transport, and I feel good for getting the exercise. Another church. These things are pretty much everywhere, all over Russia and St. Petersburg. Most of them you can go inside. Maybe sometime I'll have time to check this one out. But the barbershop I go to up here, it's inexpensive. It's like $3.50 or something. So this isn't hard to cut, so why should I pay $20 just to take a razor and cut it down to number one? Okay, well, $5, still cheap. Here we go. Okay, maybe it was almost $5 last time. I don't know, but they kind of spiffed the place up inside anyways. And not that it was bad before, but they definitely did a remodel inside, but there's somebody in there right now, so they only got one guy, but it's cool. A lot of places need an appointment or something, and there's just not much to do with this thing. Well done. Actually, they didn't charge me $4.99, they charged me $400. I guess because mine's so simple, nothing to really do there. Guys are for a living. I mean, before it was not like bad in there. It was like very basic. Now they kind of put up some pictures and put some wallpaper up and stuff. Definitely looks a lot nicer. And so I guess, well, the ruble's come up a lot. So I guess it turned out to be actually less than $5, because the ruble right now was like 82 yesterday. Actually, you know, the ruble this year has gained more than any other currency in the world. It has gained more than gold. I don't know if it'll stay that way, but I actually kind of wish it would go down a little bit. Anyways, so yeah, that's less than $5, but even if I paid full price, it would have been about $6. So cool. I'm gonna walk down, and I don't know, I got some time before my next meeting. What time is it? Let's see, it's 1 o'clock. My next meeting's not till 3, although it's in the center. So I'm going to go down. There's the street down here turns into a pedestrian way. Might grab something to eat or drink. Do my Duolingo before I do my Pivalingo, and then go to my meeting and just kind of see what happens today. Here is sanctioned McDonald's. I don't think I'll eat here today, but probably walk down the pedestrian street over there. Find a bench for a while. Confirmed it, but people keep telling me that was the first McDonald's in St. Petersburg back in, I don't know, 1992 or something. Monument towards one of the first streetcars they had here, and at one point they were going to take it away, and it's like a little cafe, and there was this big protest from the residents, and then they came to a deal with the operator of it that if they dedicated so much of it to, I guess, selling magazines, or something that they're allowed to keep it. And you can go sit on top of it, buy some coffee or whatever. So yeah, there's a big protest when they wanted to remove it from the citizens here. This is a pedestrian street, no cars or anything. There's a lot of shops and restaurants, and trees haven't quite come back from the winter yet, but they will spring up and they'll plant more flowers and stuff, and it's just a really cool place. And all the cafes will put seats out under the I think the street cafe season begins next week or something. There you can see the trees are budding and they'll erupt into flowers and things pretty soon. This whole street will look absolutely magnificent. Just noticed there's no benches here yet. There's places for benches, so by May 1st everything will come out, usually a little bit earlier when it gets warm like this. The fountain's not even running yet. Some of the fountains will start running next week, they said, and the rest by May 1st. So the weather's here. The city just has to catch up a little bit. So I guess that's why everybody's sitting down here on the fountain. There's some like stone blocks they're sitting on because the benches aren't out yet. I'm kind of hungry, and it is. By the time I eat and get over to my meeting at the right time, I don't know. I think like McDonald's, I'm probably gonna go kimchi to go. There's a chain here. It's a Korean place. Pretty good. I haven't been to this location before, but I've been to plenty of others pretty often, so I'm gonna go there. As I figure out how to get up to the second floor, I don't see an entrance for that. I have to look around here, I guess. It's inside. I got somebody else's sign here, but you go in here. This other business takes over the signing, whatever that is, but it's here. They're really busy. She said it was going to be 30 to 35 minutes, and I don't have that, so I have to find some other place to eat today. This Minion juice place, and it looked a little pricey, but they do a business lunch. It's highly rated, so maybe I'll give it a try. It's right next door. Let's see if they have affordable Minion juice here or not. Actually, the place is a little fancier than I saw on the Yandex. Got a 3-course meal for $6.50, which is around $7 right now, which is actually kind of expensive for a business lunch. But we'll see how big the portions are. Definitely worth a try. For it being a supposed Minion juice place, they actually don't have a lot of Minion juice, and it's kind of pricey, so I think I'm gonna wait on the Minion juice till I get to my next destination. Yeah, their Minion juice is hella pricey. The cheapest one's about $4, and that's just for a white one. But I think I'm gonna take it because I want one. So it's not horribly expensive, but for a basic white beer, white Minion juice. As always, included tea or compote, so I got tea. Notice in the business menu they have a special. You can get a lager for cheaper, but I already ordered something else. So, live and learn. I'm ordering one of the other Minion juices. It's a nut variety. Usually don't like that kind very much, but I gotta say it's a dark variety. And it's interesting. I wouldn't say I'm falling in love with it, but it's definitely interesting. I like it. Here's a salad. We'll see how it goes. It's chicken liver salad, by the way. Quite good. Cheese soup for the second part. Cheese soup with meatballs, sorry. Third course meatballs with orzo. It was decent. A little pricey though. I know the place doesn't get the same lunch for about 30% less. Although I was sure it's a little bit better. Did get 3% off for installing their app and 5% off because I use my Yandex card, but I get 5% off everywhere, so all the restaurants anyways. Would I go back? Yeah. Would it be one of my go-to spots on a regular time? Probably not. A little too pricey. I gotta go to a meeting in about half an hour to take the bike, but I wouldn't make it in half an hour, so here's the metro station. This is an old one. This one has not been rebuilt or renovated in a long time. Destination metro station. Out of the metro, on my way to somewhere else. I recognize that flag. That's the Republic of Cyprus. I didn't know we still had a consulate, I guess, here. Just a nice looking building. Well restored. Still have a Spanish consulate too. Now keep in mind, this is Saint Petersburg, not Moscow, where the embassies are. This for Statskaya. It used to be the whole line. I used to call it like Embassy Row, the American embassy, German, everybody was here. Now there's very few left. Church along the way. The garden, you can see the bushes are blooming, but also the cherry trees, and that's why everybody's gathering here. There's different cherry trees around the city, and this is one of the smallest gardens, but it's blooming. Let's walk inside and take a look. There we go. part of the tree, and soon all of them will bloom much more. Also part of the friendship garden. You can see everybody's out because it's 20 degrees today. Last time it was 20 degrees on this date in St. Petersburg was 1920. The last part of the friendship garden, of course, be a lot nicer when everything is green and there's, you know, actual grass and things, but give it some time. This place has been on my list for a long time to check out. I mean, there's nothing going on right now, but it is open. And I was with somebody, I forget who it was, a day or two ago, who, I met this guy that has like this mini jazz club in his basement and they're building up. And he'd mentioned if I'd ever been to this place, because I've been to a jazz club. I said, no, we had me walking by it and they're open. And it says Jimi Hendrix Club, so anyways, no, it's different Hendrix, but it says Jimi Hendrix over here. Anyways, I'm gonna go check it out, so we'll see what's going on. Setting up for music, but it's not for another 4 hours, so maybe I'll come back, we'll see. Very cool place. I do not know how. I have not been there before. They had some musicians that were practicing. I filmed a little bit. I don't show too much because YouTube will ding me for copyright, so I only show a second or two. They have some live music at 8, not that band. That band's gonna be back there, I think she said Thursday and Sunday, but to go somewhere else, but maybe I'll drag some people back here tonight. And the Minion juice is at a good, affordable price and decent selection, so yeah. Nice little, not even a pocket park, but of course be nice for when the grass grows back. I just looked at the temperature, it's 21 degrees now, Celsius. That's, I don't know, somewhere in the 70s Fahrenheit. In that place, because I like to go to a lot of bars that have music, but most of them it's like once a week or something, and some of them have really good outdoor spaces, but their winter indoor spaces suck. But that place, they apparently have music every day, which I did not know. If I'd known that, I would have checked it out a lot sooner. So I'm definitely gonna be visiting that place a lot more often. Some cool details in this building here. Just some more cool buildings. It's not labeled or anything, there's just a passageway. Let's walk through here and see what we find. There's a whole hidden garden here that I never knew about. That's why you walk around and you look on maps and you find all kinds of cool things. And it's starting to get a little bit green, but we'll take a walk around and see what's here. Some palace over there. Kind of surprised I never found this park before. I'm really good at scouting out parks, but that one's hidden pretty good. This plant didn't stop because of spring. Just a cool photo shot. I'm gonna make a photo of this. Yeah, this is definitely a park. I would come back in and chill in. They already have benches out, and looks like it is a bit of a secret. I mean, it's not like secret, but unless you know about that passageway, you're not gonna find it. There's a side entrance too, and according to the map, if I go over here, just look around, there's some fountains over there, so I'll go check them out. I'll walk in this passageway, and we'll see. Maybe there's nothing, but they said there's fountains around the corner here. Oh, kind of. It's like a super mini courtyard. Fountains aren't running, nothing really kind of special, but still maybe some place to come sit someday around some trees. Well, that was a cool discovery. And up here, if I walk just a short bit, apparently there's another hidden one. Sometimes you get into these things, sometimes you can't, but because they have the gates and they're in courtyards, but let's see if we can find another one. This place here has really good shawarmas, but I'm not hungry right now. That's a hospital or a medical university or something, I don't remember exactly. Something medical, you can see the ambulance there. Okay, so this one's not so hidden, the sun's kind of washing it out, but somehow I've never seen this one either. Okay, not quite as cool as the previous one, but still someplace to be chill to hang out that I have not noticed before. Some interesting graffiti. And this is off one of the main streets, I've just never wandered in here. Get a little closer look at it. I don't want to call this graffiti because it's actual, it's like actual art. Pretty interesting. There's a store called Dr. Head. It's actually full of headphones and vinyl records. It's got some other cool stuff. There you go, Dr. Head. I saw one of these in the previous street. It's a kind of like, not a GoPro, but similar. Long battery, just filming people in the street. This one's got a lady, it says Transport Committee, so I guess they're doing survey of foot traffic and things. But this is Nevsky Prospect, the main street of Saint Petersburg. I'm about in the middle of it. That is our sanctioned McDonald's over there. And I should have put the microphone in a long time ago, but now I have the microphone, so quality probably better on the audio. Detail in the building here. We got something else up there. Another over there. Similar thing, but a little farther down. Here's one of the palaces. Sorry, the sun's washing a lot of the stuff out. If I had time to go get better angles, but today I'm not. I'm just trying to walk around and haven't enjoyed the day. This is the Yandex Museum. Yandex is kind of like Russia's Google, but way better. And they have some cool stuff here. Last time I was there, they got rid of a lot of cool stuff, but we'll see. They have some old computers, like really old. That's from like 1970s. They had Palm House and stuff here about a year ago. They got rid of that stuff, but they still have a lot of old game machines and some unique Soviet stuff. These are all game consoles. I'll go around and show you those things. Here's the Famicom. That's the original, that's the Nintendo. And here's the original Japanese model. Atari 2600. I don't know what these ones are. That's a Russian one. And so is that one. Russian game consoles. There's a Russian computer too. Here's a lot of old computers. Some of these I grew up with. This here is actually the first computer I ever used. That's the one I started to learn on back in, I think they released this one in 1982. And that's the one I started computer programming on in 1982. And then, what else they have here? Ooh, Commodore PET. Never had one of those, but this was the first computer I had at home. Commodore 64, that's where I really broke in my programming skills. Surprised they don't have a Commodore 128 here. But they do have, they've got some Soviet ones, some different ones, different Atari ones. Here's an Amiga. That was an awesome computer. I never had the money for that. At that time I switched to Atari ST. And they don't have Atari STs here either. They have the Atari 800. That was one of the 8-bit computers. But they don't have any STs here. Oh, there was 65XE too. Old Apple stuff, the 2E. I remember that thing. Apple Mac Classic, I remember that too. And then some newer Apples over there. Here is a Soviet computer. It's like more Soviet computers I'm not familiar with. There was one guy today who, when I come, I talk to him, he knows all about these old Soviet computers. And I tell him about the American computers, tell him stuff he didn't even know. Old laptop, I remember these. I had one similar to that. Yeah, I remember those old screens, no fun. These two are super famous. This was the predecessor of the Commodore 64. And I think, to this day, I think this is still the #1 selling computer of all time. I've gotten rid of a lot of the books. Last time I was, a while ago, we had a whole bookshelf over here of old like mainframe manuals and stuff. And they even had a computer book, computer language, that had a chapter on my software now, which was pretty cool to see. It was still in the museum here. I don't know what they do with the old stuff. They probably put it in storage somewhere. I can't imagine they throw it out, because it does change up in here. But they got rid of a lot of the really old stuff. The robots we have on the outside of the cities, I don't use them in the city centers. Drain pipe with kind of an interesting bottom. Here's a better angle of that building without the sun in the background. Famous, they call it the Horses Bridge. There's 4 horses here, one on each corner. And I don't remember the exact lore, but something about when they made these, they cast them, the sculptor made the scrotum of the horses look like the emperor, and it was supposed to be an insult, and they got mad, they had to remake them or something. Somebody can correct me on the story. Just a scene of one of the canals. Just some more views of right now walking down Nevsky Prospect. This here is a super famous grocery store, even from before Soviet times. I guess the park is closed. Sometimes in the spring, after the winters, they're open in the winter and then they close them for a bit so they can plant things and get the fountains working and let the grass grow back. So, but it's a nice little park here in front of the theater. So I guess today I just get to walk past it. Now the joke here is, see that statue? That is Catherine II, I think. And there's all these men that surrounded her, like her royal court or something, and the joke or reality of the statue is something about they were all her like gigolos, I guess is how you would say it. The park over there, although that one wasn't open all last year or the year before. I don't know exactly what the rules are, but I remember going in there like 25 years ago. It was pretty cool. This here is a theater. We got to go into a concert in here earlier this year, or last year, I forget when. It's pretty cool, really massive and impressive inside. A better view without the sun glaring in it. Really cool looking building right there too. Just, I don't know what it is, but it's really cool looking. It says concert Road of Life, May 9th. This is important because that's Victory Day here in Russia. Victory Day over, well, V-Day. That's when World War II ended for Russia. This year it's the 80th celebration, so it's a big deal, but especially here in Saint Petersburg, this city was under siege. I forget how many people died, but it was bad. People were eating each other. Really, really bad. And the Road of Life was in the winter. They would come across the lake. They would send trucks and things, basically plow off the ice. And so it's called the Road of Life. I've been all over the city, but even in the center, sometimes I find roads I haven't been down yet. So I've been here before, but I've never been around back of the theater. And there's a road behind the theater that runs down up towards a circle where I have been, a traffic circle park. So I decided to just take this road and see what I find. Look at this, there's a statue here of a guy with a snow shovel, or a coal shovel or something. I don't know what that's about. It's the street with a big, long, cool building. Up at the end there's a traffic circle, small park where the trees are. And then there's the river up there again, the one we crossed over with the horses on it. That should be Fontanka, which is one of the main canals here. The bridge over the canal again. And these bridges in the center are just fantastic to see. Corner, here we go. And we're gonna go through the arches down here. And I'm gonna take you to a really strange place in a few minutes. So now we're going through the archway. I never figured out what this place is up here with all the flags. Maybe I'll take a look and figure out what it is today. We're gonna take a walk in here. This doesn't look impressive, and it kind of isn't, and it kind of is. It's a Praxin Dvor. It's one of the oldest markets in St. Petersburg, and it's really... First time I wandered in here late at night, and I came in through one of the passageways, not even through here. And I felt like I walked into like a Turkish bazaar or something from 100 years ago. And a lot of it got closed down recently because they came in here and there's a lot of illegal sellers, and they raided it and found a bunch of people who didn't have their migration statuses right. They didn't have permits to trade or sell anything. So a lot of stuff here got closed down. I'll see what's left. But these buildings in here, they're like mazes. You go inside and see all kinds of things and all kinds of people from different stands in here. But yeah, it looks like they closed pretty much almost everything down. Normally it's quite busy in this place, and they have plans to bulldoze this, tear down the buildings, and build a proper, I forget what they're going to build in here, business center or new market or something. I mean, it needs to be done. It was kind of a interesting place to come. It was like going back in history, but at the same time, it does need taken care of. It's a problem right in the middle of the city. I've never been in here when it's this quiet. Normally I come in here and there's just people everywhere. And not only were all these shops open, but there were stalls there were just tables and stalls all down the middle of this place. But it looks like, yeah, most of the traders were here set up illegally, so they shut them down. These buildings you can go in, and they're all like shops and mazes. I mean, it's just like it's weird. It's like, I don't even know how to describe it. But it's also odd being here with almost nobody here. Because every time I've been here, it's just been a hustle and bustle of activity. This is where you can come and buy like Mikey shoes and Adidas and Goopy and all kinds of knockoff brands for super cheap. Or sometimes it'll say it's Nike, but it's like, there's no way those are Nike shoes for 20 bucks. But you could also get some deals in here too, especially if you just needed like basic clothing or things like that. But it looks like a little more activity coming up here. Let's see what we got going on up here. Get up closer. And I gotta say, the one night I wandered in here, towards evening, it was dark. I was a little bit spooked at first. A long time I'd really been spooked anywhere in St. Petersburg. Once I got in here though, it was fine. It was perfectly safe, and I've been back a bunch of times. It just was very unusual. So I guess coming up here, you can see this is what the whole area used to look like, but much busier. Never seen it with so few people and so many shops closed. And all these places have like, there's basements, and I mean, it's an incredible maze of places in here. A little busier over here. But you can see a lot of the buildings are in bad shape. It's a huge area though. I'll wander over this way. I haven't been over this way before. There are all kinds of languages in here too besides Russian. Not just like Tajik and what do they speak in Kazakhstan and all that kind of stuff, but a lot of Turkish. I heard some Chinese back there. So there's traders from all over, but a lot of stuff from Turkey here. I've been over on this side. This place is even bigger than I knew it was. I mean, it's huge. It's like a whole city block, and I mean a big city block. When you go in, you go downstairs in the basement. You can just imagine what this place was like when all these stores before they were raided was open. I mean, this place was just jam-packed with people. It was really something just something you have to experience. You cannot describe. There's a lot of little food outlets, although I'm not sure I'd trust a lot of these places. But some of them are probably pretty good. Farther, but I don't think there's anything else over there, so I'm gonna head down this one instead of walking down an abandoned one with nothing in it. More of a food section. There's a bunch of halal cafes in here, and this section is closed. Guy back there just stopped me and asked me kind of what I was doing. I just told him just filming a video for kind of history, and friendly guy. So area I've wandered in. I saw Turkish writing before. Now I've seen a bunch of stuff in Arabic. I don't know. I mean, it's only not even quite 7 o'clock yet. Some of these places could just be closed, but normally I remember them being open a lot later. Maybe I can come back during the daytime and see how much more is open. To the guy back there, I told him I was just filming for YouTube and stuff, and it's kind of history. It's gonna be closed. He says, closed? I said, yeah, the government said they're gonna close it in 2 or 3 years. He says, yeah, maybe, maybe not. I said, okay, well, you know, but either way, it's life, it's history. He says, yeah. So, you know, now we're pop out onto one of the main streets. You can walk through here or end up in the main street. And we're back. Nevsky Prospect's down at the end. And I'm going down this way. Still got a ways to walk. I'm getting kind of hungry. There's some place to eat here once in a while, maybe once a month. I just feel like some junky McDonald's food though, and I don't know, I kind of feel like McDonald's, I don't know. We'll see, there's one up here. From McDonald's here is the McDonald's food. It's actually better than McDonald's in the West, at least as I've been told. I haven't been to McDonald's in the West since, I don't know, 2009. In Bulgaria would be my last McDonald's. So McDonald's here, the kitchens look fine, but the dining areas sometimes, I mean, they're not discovered, they're just sort of packed, and sometimes they're just kind of, floors are dirty. The one up here is pretty decent though, so, and they have a Russified menu. So maybe I'll hop in there and have a meal. We'll see. Maybe I'll find something along the way. Guitar shop. Just thought it'd be cool to wander. They have ukuleles. Minion juice place I haven't been to for a while, but I got something called Uti Puti, which is quite good. They have something called Death by 1,000 Cats. Or is it? There it is. Death by 1,000 Cats. I don't know if I want to try that one or not. They have all kinds of cool stuff in cans too. More stuff. And they sell it, you can buy it by the bottle, but you can drink it here, which is what I'm gonna do. I have like it's technically a beer shop, but it's a beer shop you can drink in. Last time I was here, I don't think they had this back area. I think they just had some table, like a bar you can sit over there. Take a look at this. This is after you've consumed. Now, it's in Russian, but it's not the standard, just standard letters. The first 2 lines say lager, the other one says stout, then bitter, lambic, and it has different beers. So basically, it's your eye chart. It's beer types. Got a good selection here. Definitely improved since last time I was here. So, definitely a new place on my stopping area now. Cool. Just read we broke the 1920 record for temperature today. It hit 22.2 degrees Celsius. I don't know if it is in Fahrenheit. I'll figure it out. 72 degrees Fahrenheit in April. That's awesome. There's a gathering every Wednesday, and I had planned to be there. It started at 7, and I started walking there at 4. From different places. It's almost 7:30 now, and I'm still not there. So, still gonna grab something to eat, and they're there till like 11 or 12, so I'll show up and then hang out a bit. They're watching some of the soccer games for Americans. And then, I don't know, maybe I'll drag some of them back to the jazz club, or maybe I'll hang out there. That's kind of how my day goes. I just go out and I don't really have plans. I have a direction. And I head in one direction and I just see what finds me along the way. And that's how it goes. So when I stay, we're gonna go down there. And I'm really thinking I'm gonna hit that McDonald's. Those really cool trolleys. That's a short one. It's only got one joint in the middle. Most of them on double joint. And first came back to Saint Petersburg, there were only 2 of them. And then there were a few more, and now there's like, I don't know, 20 or 30 of them. They're pretty common to see everywhere. And they're really cool, retro trams. This is Sanaya Ploshet, which is roughly, that's also called Sadovia, which is kind of like Garden Square. It used to be in the old, like 1800s, big trading area where farmers would bring their stuff to sell. And there's 2 metro stations here side by side. There's actually a third one, but it goes underground there. They're all connected. Big shopping mall here. I remember before they built that shopping mall. But now it's a decent shopping mall. Looks like there's repairs on it. And we got some buskers of different types. There's a McDonald's inside the shopping mall, and I've decided on, I mean, there's plenty of other food around here, but I don't know, I just feel like McDonald's. You can see, they haven't put out the flowers yet, the big flower pots. And you can always find some interesting live music. Most of the metro stations. Nice and warm today. These are federal police. They're kind of like called Rosguardia. Close translation would be like National Guard, but they're not quite the same as, at least in the US, what you think of National Guard. They're not the reserves, and they're not Army. They're, I don't know if you have an equivalent in the US, but they're kind of like federal police. But they're never, I don't have any problems with them. They're here for security, and no problems. Okay, so I settled on McDonald's. Yep, this is McDonald's. Ordered on the app, so ordered straight to my table. Just put the number in, and they'll deliver it. A Grand Deluxe, super size with jalapenos, 517 rubles, which current exchange rate, I guess, is around $6. The old exchange rate would have been 517, but hey, $6 is not bad. Well, it's not white nights yet, but it's now 8:21 at night, and it's still fairly light. And so by May, June, July, August, we pretty much have almost 24 hours of sunlight. It's really cool. So here I'm back on the square again, but now I've eaten and I'm headed off to, there's like a just group of people who gather on Wednesdays and play games and stuff, and I haven't been there in a long time, but I'm in the area and I'll check in and see who's there. I just thought that was kind of a cool looking building. That there is one of the ventilation shafts for the metro system.
Okay. We're gonna start with. Yeah, you started with the one thing with him.
Okay, so there's Mr. Bean. Let's see. No, where? There he is. Anyways, I was there for about 2 hours. Decent group, but they mostly like to play Mafia, which is fine, but just not my game. And there wasn't anything else really going on, so I got some friends. Mafia for me is like golf. I appreciate that people like it, and I understand why they do, but just not for me. I don't know, I played it a couple times and just, it was boring for me. So, going for a walk now, it's like 10:20. I cleaned the lens this time, so you won't get a lot of glare. I could take the metro back. I walked to the metro, but I feel like taking the trolley. I don't know, just kind of seeing the city. Don't really feel like going home, but it is 10:30. Don't really have anywhere else to go tonight, so guess I'll head back to the train station and then figure it out from there. Catch a bike or another bus or something. Maybe a late train. It'd be kind of random if I'd get a retro one or not, but now on this and actually many other routes, they're pretty much all retro ones, which is really cool. Let's take a look inside in a second. Should be stopping right here. Let's not get hit by the bus. Let's see, really clean and cool. Crossing Nevsky. Okay, that's it for today. That's what I did today. Still warm, so I'm gonna grab a bike and use it the rest of the way to get home.